Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I'm your host, Al Scott. As always, we thank you all for tuning in to tonight's show. We have a lot of material to cover tonight. Of course, we are addressing the Maleah Lynn Davis case tonight. Before we get started, we send a big shout out to all those who were affected by 9/11 and to those who lost their lives on 9/11. It is a day that we will never ever forget in this country. So, from our hearts to yours, to the families of the victims, you have our deepest condolences, and may God continue to keep you and bless you. Tonight, I'm going to get some of the announcements out the way as always. As crazy as it be, where else would she be at 7 o'clock but with me? My brother Rich is in this evening from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Good evening to you. I think it's Chastity Chapman. Good evening to you. My good friend, Miss Williams, who will not call me for nothing. I don't know why. Someone named Keechi Baby, Mr. Scott. Keechai, I'm sorry, Keechai, Louisiana. All right then. Houston, Texas is in the house. I think that's Tracy Taylor. Thank you for tuning in as well. I see Miss Clark is in. Evans is in from Houston, Texas. Miss B is here. Miss Hot Pink is here. Good evening to you, Hot Pink. Tanya Sims is in the house this evening along with Jay Fields. Watching from Baltimore, Kathy, thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's show. Good evening from New Orleans, Louisiana. That's Miss Lincoln. Thank you for tuning in as well. Lisa Hill, welcome. AP, you are indeed welcome. She says, thank you dearly. I lost a flight attendant friend on American Airlines Flight 11. I knew exactly where I was that day. I was watching it on the TV. I still couldn't believe that it was really happening, but we knew it was. But I just couldn't believe it. Powers, H-Town is in the house. Thank you for tuning in. Tina Hollins from Tennessee is in the building. Teresa is from Ohio. She's in the house. Ohio, love your show. I humbly bow to you. Thank you so very much. Okay. One announcement that I want to get out first is that we are coming to Houston, Texas. Stop calling me and asking me when I'm coming because I can't tell you. And there are reasons why I can't tell you. And I'm not being ugly, but I know who's calling asking, okay? But we're coming. I promise you that. When we get there is when we're going to announce that we are there. Now, there will be a forum put together. And we're not exactly sure about how many people will be invited. I think I saw Miss Ferris. Miss Ferris, if you are here this evening, good evening to you as well. I love you big time. LaJean 67. Hey, Mr. Scott from Houston. Thank you for tuning in. We're coming. There's another lady in Houston, Texas, that is working closely with us to put this event together. Miss McDonald, good evening to you as well. And shortly before airtime, she called and was getting, the direction that we was going in on tonight's show. And we were discussing, I had brought up the idea that it's going to be open to the public, but you have to have a ticket to get in. And as she so delicately put it, I totally agree that tickets you can duplicate all day long. So what's going to happen is we're going to have some braces made up. We will not tell you what's the braces will say right now. And you have to have one of those to get in. And it's not that Scott thinks he's all that. It's just that we have honestly received some credible threats. I could come there right down now and tell you sapsuckers when I'm coming. It wouldn't bother me. But for those that work with me and for me, this is what we're going to do. I've never been scared of anybody that came out of a woman. It is what it is. It's not what it's not. Your threats will never, ever, ever scare me. The other host of this show and our new program director is in the house, Miss Jade. If you all have any questions concerning the Maleah Davis case now, with the exception of those that have been working with me from day one pertaining to this case, we're going to ask now that you would direct your comments to Miss Jade. She can be reached at 1-888-357-3334, and her extension is 3. When we open the phones up tonight, you push option 1, and it'll get you straight to me to go live. So again, we are coming, but we just can't say when, but we are going to have some bracelets made up. I think that was it with the announcement. If I've missed something, Miss Jade, please let me know. And by the way, we are doing extremely terrible on the donations, because it takes money for me to pay Miss Jade and other people and to do research and to go here and to go there and even come to Houston, Texas, and hotel accommodations and all that. So if all of you on here would give $1 tonight to whatever link you want to, is paypal.me/injustice got you, paypal.me/injustice got you. Or if you have the cash out, you can just go to $ Eddie Mae Sport. If you want other options on how to donate to this channel, please call Miss Jade at 1-888-357-3334. That's going to be extension 3. I'm also going to send a shout out tonight, and I tip my hat to SP News. I guess at about 4 or 5 o'clock, I guess, I went to watch her on live. She's one of the shows that I watch a lot on YouTube, along with Spitting Fire and Hot Topics, that's Spices. This other brother, I can't never think of his name, but you never see his face. I haven't, and he's, I think it's something about up on your ass or got your ass or something. I go where I feel the information is has been verified and is solid. And so those are some of the channels that I recommend. But I heard something tonight on SP News YouTube channel, and if you hadn't subscribed to it, she's legit 100% got her stuff together there. You should subscribe to SP News. The information that she let out today about Maleah Davis, I didn't know anything about, but to God be the glory, I got an opportunity to hear it. So when time allows you want to go over there and you want to listen to that. She couldn't disclose the individual's name, but allegedly, a lady contacted the Houston Police Department, and I think she spoke with the chief of police. I think, do not quote me on that, because I recorded it, but I hadn't had a chance to look at it because we had to get ready for tonight's show. Yes, congratulations, SP News, because you all are up on it, and I respect her 100%. And a big, big happy birthday to her husband. It's his birthday today. And Mr. Lewis, you and your wife, I love you big time. You all are a blessing. I thank you for supporting this channel. I thank you for all the work that you all do behind the scenes. I can't wait to sit down and meet with you. Again, I love you, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for you. And I hope to make a long-lasting friendship with both of you. Now, a lady called allegedly and spoke with someone at HPD. I think, it was the police, the chief of police. And she said, basically, sounded like an older white lady, could an older black, I don't know, but she was pissed. You could hear it in her voice. Basically, she said, the world is pissed off. They're angry. What the hell are y'all doing? You got to wrong somebody in jail. He didn't kill him. Well, allegedly, whoever she spoke with said, we know. Well, what's taking you all so damn long? He simply said, well, we want to make sure we dot all our I's and cross the T's. And I can respect that. But also, what I cannot respect is that you're not coming to the mic even if you can't tell us shit, you owe it to the people that keeps you with a paycheck to come to the mic and say, we're still working on this. We're still working on this. Even if you think you have all the evidence you need, make a statement. If you know anything about this case, give us a call. Let the public know that you're doing something, but because when you don't come to the mic, they think you're doing something close to nothing. So we must address the people of Houston, Texas concerning Maleah Lynn Davis. The person she spoke with said, we know that Maleah Davis was dead before Brittany Bowens left town. Again, quoting the lady on the phone, we know that Maleah Lynn Davis was dead before Brittany left town. Now, I don't know if some of you remember, but I've said that, I think about 2 weeks ago, that it is my belief that, oh yes, Miss J said New Mexico is in the house. Welcome, New Mexico. It is my belief that 4-year-old Maleah Lynn Davis was killed sometime after 8 a.m. on April the 30th. I want you to keep that date in mind, April the 30th, and I want you to keep May 3rd in your mind. And probably before the story comes to its end, you're going to figure out why. I've been telling you this from day one. April 30th and May 3rd. Those are some dates that you do not want to forget. Someone just gave a donation. I'm trying to catch their name. It is Ace Johnson. I thank you for your donation to this channel this evening. Love you big time. I see Spitting Fire is in the house tonight. Very, very outspoken young lady, well respected by me and others. So that's another channel. I've said it once, I say it again, that I encourage you all to not just watch, subscribe to, along with Hot Topics Spice. So the officer alleges that they know that Maleah Davis was killed before Brittany Bowens left town. And that's all I've been saying. Now, we cannot say for sure. Follow me. This is not fact. It's just my opinion. As always, I'm not trying to pass my opinion off as a fact, but this is the way I see it. Okay, Washington is in the house. Thank you so much. Love you big time as well. Mazetta, I think. We see Darion Vance, and we got some new, it's not new information, but it's some information that I missed during the beginning of this case. And so now we're going back, looking at everything, and all the text messages we received and Brittany's flight attendance. Darion Vance comes out of the house, the apartment. He's got a blue laundry basket. It has a black bag on the inside of it. Now, it's heavy. We can tell from the way he's somewhat straining. But here's what we don't know. The police may know, but we don't know. I can't say for certain if that was Maleah Davis' body in the laundry basket. Here's the thing. Maleah was very thin. She was fragile. It wouldn't have been that heavy with Maleah in there. Even with a little extra weight when she's dead, it wouldn't have been that heavy. Maleah was not in there. But what was in there was evidence of Maleah's murder on April 30th. It may have just been sheets, may have been her clothes, other items. Maleah Davis may also have been in there, but if she was in there, she wasn't in there by herself. It wouldn't have been that heavy. There were some other items in there, so she could have been in there with other items on her or around her, but to say that she was in there without anything, I mean, don't take a rocket science to see, he wouldn't have been straining. Now, why is it that we never see Brittany Bowens on surveillance? It was orchestrated that way, very methodical to a degree by Brittany Bowens herself. You see Brittany Bowens come out of that apartment daily on that camera, daily on that camera. This day, you cannot see her. That's another red flag. She made sure that you all saw Darion Vance coming out with that basket. She called the shots in Houston, Texas, and when she left town with Darion Vince, she was still calling the shots. Seattle is in the house. Tip my hat to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, big time. Again, I'm not being funny. Darion Vince is mentally challenged. She was his Nino Brown. She was the pimp. He was nothing but the hoe. I do not believe that Darion Vince ever molested Maleah Lynn Davis. If anybody molested Maleah Lynn Davis, it was Brittany Bowens and Craig Davis, the biological father. When this first broke, you all kept asking me why she just didn't give the child to the biological father. My answer I gave you then is still the same today. I don't know if the results would have been any different whatsoever. I don't. I believe with my heart that Darion Vince loved those kids. He took up a lot of time with those kids. Her speech, Maleah, was somewhat getting better with the time that she had been spending with Darion Vince. I just don't believe he did it. Again, Maleah was dead before Brittany left town. And I'm going to read some medical reports to you tonight. Some of you might have heard these things and some may not. But I want you to know one thing. As long as I live, as long as I'm a black man, I promise you, in heaven backing me up, I'm going to work on this case. I'm going to speak on this case. I'm going to write about this case. Not just because I made a promise to Maleah, but it's just the right damn thing to do. And Brittany Bowens, I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what they wrote to you. You going to jail. And from jail, you're going to go to prison. So help me, God. The only reason I don't see this through, I have a heart attack and die, or somebody knock my black ass off. But I hate you. I cannot stand you. You are existing just to be existing. You are a monster in human form. From the Brittany Bowens side to Craig Davis, we have nothing but witches and fucking demons. Y'all are some evil people. And to get upset with anyone for trying to seek justice for Maleah, it tells me everything I need to know about you. It will not stop me. Save your breath. It will come to pass. I promise you that. Briefly, I'm going to look at a couple of cases, because it seems to be now it's an epidemic of mothers killing their children. And if the mothers are not killing their children, the mothers are standing as watchmen, as the stepdaddy kills their children. I think God has a wonderful many creations. But to me, one of God's most precious and delectable creations is that of a woman. And he blessed her womb so that she could be impregnated and give birth, to bring life into existence into this world. And I think it's a privilege for a woman to be able to do that, and it is a blessing from God. But here's the difference with Brittany Bowens and mothers. Brittany Bowens carried Maleah Lynn Davis in her womb, but she did not carry Maleah Lynn Davis in her heart. She never did. She never did. She never did. There are some things I'm questioning about Craig Davis. When the lady that's helping us, well, it's not helping us. She's putting the event together for the mothers in Houston, Texas. We're just helping her. It's her baby. It's not ours. I think I said that wrong in the beginning. It's her baby. It's not ours. She made me pay attention to something Craig Davis said. Craig Davis said during, I think it was Maleah Davis Day in Houston, Texas. Craig Davis said, it's been a long time coming. Okay. When I got the call that he said that, and have you seen her? I hadn't heard her. So I went and I watched it. I called the lady back. I said, I'm not quick to be critical. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I want us to keep in mind that Craig Davis has a fantasy about being a rapper. That will not happen unless it's in a Texas penitentiary. He will never go that far. He's too stupid. He's trifling. He's just as low as Brittany Barnes. He should commit suicide and die his damn self. Craig Davis did not love Maleah Davis. Craig Davis did not love Maleah Davis. Craig Davis did not love his biological child, Maleah Davis. I want to know from Craig Davis, when you had supervised visits scheduled with CPS on Saturdays, why is it you never showed up? Brittany, big sorry, nasty ass showed up. Why you did? I know the answer to that. I know the answer to that. Trust me, and it's not a theory. I know the answers to that. Now, I said, well, maybe he got lost because I don't think he was expecting to speak. And you can see he was trying to think of his words before he spoke to the people that day. And I'm thinking somewhere between fantasy and realization, he got lost and he thought he had made it as a rapper. And he was saying, it's been a long time coming. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. That's just my theory. I could be wrong. I could just be 100% wrong. I see you laughing, spitting fire. But here's the thing. Maybe he wasn't. Okay. He said something else. I know what happened to Maleah. Well, if you know what happened to Maleah, somebody should be arrested by now. That's what I'm thinking. You know, I'm super stupid. I don't fucking know any damn thing. I don't know shit. Somebody should be arrested by now. Craig Davis alleges he went to the house on, was it April 30th or whatever day it was, the 3rd, whatever day he went. He alleges that he got Peyton, but he didn't get Maleah. Why you didn't get Maleah? I didn't get Maleah because Darion Vince told me she was in there sick with the flu and she couldn't go. I don't know a man on planet Earth, especially a black man, that's going to let a boyfriend, a fiance, stepdad, whatever the fuck he is, tell him that he can't see or get his child. It can be his house. You may as well get ready to whoop my ass. I'm going to whoop your ass because I'm coming in here getting what I helped give life to. You out your ratchet ass fucking mind, dude. It don't work that way. But he says, okay. Toots this little funny little ass along. No questions asked. This is your daughter. Your daughter's been in and out the hospital with head injuries, life-threatening injuries. She now has the flu. You get Peyton and you go. I don't believe Darion Vince told him that. I don't. I believe he went there to get Peyton and Peyton only. Now, BB told the truth about that. I don't know what Miss Original Sassy, I don't know what she's referring to. Let me know what you're referring to, please. Because for Brittany's never told the damn truth. Brittany lies so damn much. I don't know if Brittany Barnes is her fucking name. But here's what I do know. That you're going to prison. I promise you that. You're going. Again, when you don't see me, I'm working on this thing day in and day out. Maleah was neglected in life. Maleah was continued being neglected even in her death. Damn near the whole family had GoFundMe pages up for what I don't fucking know. The casket was donated. You can spend $200 or $300 on a small headstone for your loved one. So with Brittany Barnes, her and her family would GoFundMe, Craig Davis and his family GoFundMe, nobody set money aside to get Maleah Davis a headstone. A young lady saw it and said, you know what, that's sad. I'm going to pay for it myself. And she sent me the email. But when she contacted a certain company, they said, no, we don't want your money. We're going to donate it. Thought she was lying. I said, send me the receipts. And she did. The next morning, I called the company and I spoke with them, and they confirmed everything was true. I think that's sad. How 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 much more of evidence do the public needs of the police need to know that Maleah Davis is dead at the hands of her mother, Brittany Bowens? You can hold a person 42 to 78 hours on suspicion alone of murder. You can do that. They never did that. They never did that with Brittany Bowens. They never did. They never did it. Brittany Bowens is laughing, enjoying life. She thinks she's gotten away with it, and that's wonderful. But the element of surprise will knock your ass off your beat. Somebody says they never get charged as part of the script. You're absolutely right. But you know what? This time somebody's going to be charged because we're going to raise hell. Sometimes in order to get some peace in your life, you're going to have to raise some hell. And nothing you all can do is going to stop me from talking about the Maleah Lynn Davis case. We're coming. We're coming for you. As the police said, maybe not today, tomorrow, next week, or next month. But there will be more arrests. Janetta Gus, I think your fat ass in that too. You know, while you and Brittany laying up having sex with each other, getting nasty, bitches. We're going to get into Maleah Davis medical records here in just a second. I want to just update you on, we went like 5 years back, I think, and we're still pulling cases. Good evening from Bellflower. I think it's, I couldn't see her name. Valerie, okay. Of parents killing their children. It's becoming an epidemic, and when it becomes an epidemic, it becomes the norm. And when it becomes the norm, we have a serious crisis on our hands. And I believe, in my theory, that God used Maleah Lynn Davis to get all of us to wake up and start paying attention to children that we did not help bring into this world. Because Maleah Davis' case is nothing new. Kids get killed every day by their parents. Nothing new. But God fixed it so the world would turn their attention to the 4-year-old girl from Houston, Texas that we never met, never touched. And we're still talking about it. And I applaud SP News because I get their alerts. And even when I can't watch the lives, it makes me feel good that they're still speaking on the Maleah Lynn Davis case. I love that. Everybody felt her. I don't want to feel her. And all of you who support this channel, from my heart to yours, I love you big time. I thank you for your genuine support. Just please, even if you can't donate, I want you to keep talking about this through your social media accounts. When you push send a post, you have the ability to go all over the damn world with this story. And it's been true from the beginning of time. You cannot just rely on the police department to solve cases. Sometimes we got to get out and we got to do things. It's like with us. We can go places cops can't go. We can get information that people would not give to cops. And that's why so many people called me about the Maleah Lynn Davis case. I had a lady sent me an email, inbox me last night. If you're going to do a show on Maleah Davis tonight, will you please contact me before you go on air, please? And I did. And she told me some startling information. And I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. A mother killing her children is shocking. It's nothing new. Megan Hudson pleaded guilty in 2015 to suffocating or strangling 6 of her own babies right after giving birth to them from 1996 to 2006 in Pleasant Grove, Utah. She put her babies into plastic bags. She placed them in boxes and she stored them in her garage where her husband later found them in 2014. Her family says that she has a history of drugs and alcohol abuse. Before receiving her life sentence, Hudson addressed the court, and here's what she said. I didn't feel strong enough to be a mother to these tiny babies. And in some small way, I wanted to avoid the terrible life that I would have given them. All I'm going to say about Huntsman is that you should have used protection, or you should never have sex. When having sex, three things could happen. You could get a nut that you like. You could get an STD that you probably won't like. And if you're not careful, you can get pregnant. That's even with condoms. You can get pregnant. It's always a possibility. And so if you know that you're not fit to be a mother, well, you have a life sentence, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. But for all those who think about doing it, I suggest you keep your legs closed. I think Tupac said it best. You can't feed the babies. That was Michael Jackson. Can't feed the babies. Don't have the babies. It's as simple as that. What you don't want, somebody else need and will cherish until the end of time. Tina says, close your legs. What happened to street justice? Sandy Beast. Me and Miss Jade and some others, we've spoken about that. To be honest with you, I would rather street justice right now than in the court system. I'm just being honest. I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't give you no sugar-coated shit cookies. I don't piss on your back and tell you it's raining. I tell you like I see it. But what I say, I'm not always right, and you are not always wrong. Dana Sussler killed her 11-month-old daughter in 2004. She cut off her arms with a knife while listening to gospel music in her home in Plano, Texas. She had a history of bipolar disorder and depression, along with other illnesses. Police found her covered with blood, holding the knife, singing hymns, and chanting, "Thank you, Lord." Her other two daughters were not harmed. She was not, this is what pisses me off, she was not found guilty. She wasn't found guilty. Because of the reason of insanity. And she was committed to a mental hospital. Deanna Langley struck her sons, 8, 6, and 14 months, in the head with a large rock at her New Chapel Hills, Texas home in 2003. The youngest child survived with brain injuries. The deeply religious woman who homeschooled her children suffered from delusions and bipolar disorder. Again, she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. And I'm going to stop there. I think we play that insanity card too damn much. Now, let's get into the Maleah Davis case. When it broke, I hit Brittany Bowen's hard, and I hit her mother, Brittany Bowen's hard. When I first saw them come to the mics, my first thoughts, these are some evil witches. I just felt the spirit. Evil spirits existed in biblical times, and they still exist today. You don't have to believe in it for it to work. It's just as simple as that. Somebody says, that's Jade. It's a damn shame Black women are killing their freaking children. Amen to that. Good evening, Tracy Alexander, Evangelist. Okay, I'm going to try not to cuss. Poor child, God bless him. Amen. One thing I want you all to realize is that whenever Maleah Davis had an injury, it could have been a bump on the knee, a scratch, a head injury, a fall. Whenever something happened to Maleah Davis, here's what Brittany Bowen did not do. She never took the child to the doctor. She never did. Ever. She never took the child to the doctor until she called her mother, Brenda Bowens, and told her what happened to the child. Brenda Bowens, the mother, answer was always the same: take her to the hospital. Now, keep in mind, this wasn't Brittany Bowen's first child. It wasn't. So you may can understand it when it's a female's first child. Wasn't Brittany's. She always recalled her mother. When Maleah allegedly was sitting in a tall chair with a marble table, feeding herself. Allegedly, she fell down. Very serious head injury. Very serious. Here's what Brittany said. Well, I'm sure you can guess what she did first. Somebody said, me too, beat the brakes off that trick. Here's what she did first. She called her mother. She fell out the tall chair, hit her head on the marble table, then the floor, and but she all right. Brenda Bowen said, take her to the doctor. And she did. And she wasn't all right. She wasn't. Here's what the doctor said. The doctor said that Maleah Davis obtained an injury to the head, but how the parents said it happened was inconsistent with the injury that the child received. In other words, he's talking about Brittany Bowens and Craig Davis. It's like when you go in the courtroom and you lie, or you lie to the police. And they're going to listen to a degree. But here's what you don't understand. If your account of what took place does not match the evidence, forensics, DNA, your ass in trouble. Someone just said it was impossible for that to happen. Very impossible. For Maleah Davis to have received that injury, she would have to be damn near 30, 40, 60 feet up in the damn air and just drop. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. The doctor said in one of the visits, he said that, well, you know, we had to cut part of her skull out to stop the swelling. She was bleeding outside of her brain. We don't know how the injuries occurred, but here's what we do know. What Brittany Bowen said happened to Maleah Davis to cause these injuries is inconsistent with the injuries. Now watch this. I don't know how it happened. The doctors are speaking. How she received those injuries. I can't determine that. But here's what the doctors did determine. Here's what they determined. They determined that Maleah Lynn Davis had a previous head injury that had never been reported. Never been reported. Good evening, Robin. Thanks for tuning in. She's from Richmond, Virginia. Thank you, big time. So there was a head injury prior to this head injury. The first head injury was never reported to the hospital. Oh, Mary, good evening to you. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know about you, but here's the way I'm looking at it right now. Maleah Davis' first head injury was attempt murder. The second one, attempt murder 2. Brittany Bowens, from birth, had been trying to kill Maleah Lynn Davis. I don't give a damn what she say. I don't give a damn what Maleah say. Brittany said. She's lying. Brittany Bowens, on Saturday, July 29th. Now we're getting into why CPS had to step in. Whenever you call, well, a lot of times when you call CPS, CPS is only called because you think something is being done to a child that's wrong. And sometimes you know what's going on, and sometimes you think. Even if you're not 100% sure, if you think something, if you feel it, I encourage you to call the police and let them go look anyway. And if you're wrong, then you're wrong. But if you're right and you don't report it, you'll hate yourself until the day you die, unless you're part of Brittany Bowens' family or Craig Davis' family. Nothing but witches and demons. On Saturday, July 29th, 2018, Brittany Bowens' mother of Maleah Davis contacted Brittany Bowens, her mother, Maleah's grandmother, and stated that Maleah Davis had fallen from a tall chair to a marble table. Brittany Bowens stated that Maleah was absolutely fine. If Maleah was absolutely fine, why in the fuck would you have to call your mom if she's fine? If she's fine, why would you call your mother? Don't make any goddamn sense. Yes, it do. Yes, it do. She's fine. What the fuck you calling me for then? Everything is cool. A mother knows a child. Here's what Brittany Bowen said she told her mother. Take her to the hospital to be checked out. She did. Don't quote me on this because I think I may have it mixed up. I don't think she took her that day. I think she took her the following day. Do not quote me on it. I could be wrong. But either way it goes, she did take her after speaking with her mother. She was taken to West Houston Memorial Hospital to be checked out. Maleah was observed with lacerations to her forehead. The doctor stitched her up. She went back home. Brenda Bowens, now watch this. This is the grandmother. Brittany Bowens arrived home Sunday. Wait a minute, I got to go back up. I'm getting ahead of myself. Brenda Bowens stated that she was in New Orleans during the weekend of, I think, July the 29th, 2018. When Brittany Bowens, the mother of Maleah Davis, contacted Brenda Bowens, stating that Maleah had fallen from the tall chair with the marble table. Okay, now we got that out the way. Brenda Bowens arrived home Sunday, but wasn't feeling well on Monday and Tuesday, so she didn't go to work. Okay. Brenda Bowens, the grandmother, observed that Maleah was fine on those days. Now watch this. Maleah Davis was fine on those days. Good evening, caller. You're live on air. Hold your thought for just a minute, please. She said that the child was fine those days. When she was in her care. Now, but when Maleah Davis went back When Brenda Davis went back to work, Maleah's back with Brittany, there was another accident. You remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the Munchausen disease. And one of the signs is when the child is in a certain person's care, accidents always happen. But when they go into the hospital, nothing goes wrong. Or if they go stay with someone else, everything is fine. But when they go back to a certain person, the child ends up injured. Here's what Brenda said to the police, and I applaud her for this. I do. Brenda Bowens told the police about her daughter, Brittany Bowens. She said, I always had to tell Brittany Bowens when to take Maleah to the hospital. So, well, what the hell does that mean? Well, that means one damn thing, that a mother knows, a mother shouldn't have to be told when and when not to take a child to the hospital, especially when we're dealing with life-threatening injuries. Why? You don't have to call your mom and say, Mom, you think I should eat today because I'm hungry? You see where I'm going with this. Even Brenda Bowens caught that. When Brittany came to the mic for the first time, she never told us that Maleah Davis needed her medication. Brenda Bowens told the media that. That's very important, because when you say a child is taking medicine and it's for life-threatening injuries, well, that puts the fire up on the people's ass to go out faster and look for the child. Brittany Bowens never said it. In fact, here's what she did say. I don't want to take any questions. I just want to talk about the flowers. Bitch, what? What? No questions? But whether the media asks you or not, you took time out to spell your goddamn name out. But you don't have time to answer any questions. It's another red flag. Not letting us know that your child take medication, another red flag. You ever wonder why Brittany Bowens never hit the pavement to look for her daughter? Why in the fuck would she go look for her daughter and she knows her daughter's dead and she knows she killed her? Okay, well, why you think she didn't tell us about Maleah needing medication? Okay, dumbass, it's simple. You can't give a dead baby medicine. It's not going to work. It's like giving a goddamn whale a Tic Tac. Nothing's going to happen. And she knew not to get her big ass out there and hit the pavement, and it's extremely hot in Houston, because she knew they was not going to find that body. Maleah Lynn Davis was killed on April 30th, shortly after 8 a.m. She had to be told to file a police report. Here's what I'm going to ask you all to do. Some of you are already doing it. I want you to write the mayor. I want you to write the chief of police. I want you to write your leaders, your lawmakers. I want you to send it in the form of an email. And I want you to forward that email that you send to them to me. If you send them 20, send me 20, please. I'm going to hold them accountable for not responding or how they responded. Maleah Lynn Davis will not get justice in Harris County. The Houston Police Department, Brittany Bowens, and Craig Davis, it's a family affair. You understand what I'm saying? It's a family affair. If some police officers must go to jail, lock their ass up for hiding evidence, withholding evidence, not doing their job, obstruction of justice. It's a lot of goddamn charges we can do. It's simple as that. So it's not necessary, a lady called one day and told me this, it's not necessarily that the police officers are protecting Brittany Bowens when she go out. The police officers are protecting the powers that be. If you arrest Brittany Bowens, you may have to arrest somebody in CPS. You're gonna have to speak to the judge. I myself, I want to know, what did Miss Matthews write in the report that said she should return the kid. The kid should be returned back to Brittany. Let me talk to Judge Lopez before we get out of here. I don't care if he was on the bench for 30 days or 30 years. You know the law. When a doctor or the doctors told you they could not determine how these injuries occurred, especially when the doctors told you that we can determine that she had a previous head injury that had not been reported. That's all I needed to hear. Well, I know we don't know how the injuries occurred, but I cannot send her back, because if I do, her blood is on my hands. And I'm here to uphold the law. That's what I'm here to do. And I have to speak for the child, because the child can't speak for herself. I don't know CPS procedures, but we're digging. If CPS and the courts uses the same doctors year after year after year after year, we have to address that. At least every 2 years, those doctors must change out with other doctors. And I said that to say this. Then it becomes a game. Everybody's getting paid under the table to say what needs to be said to keep the bucks coming in. It's as simple as that. That's another reason it's taken an extremely long time to put cuffs on Brittany Bowens, because that will not be your only arrest. But let me tell you something about the powers that be, and you can quote me on this here. Truth is always stronger than power. Truth is always stronger than power. Truth comes to do but one thing: reveal a lie. That's it. Brittany had an open CPS case already. That was another red flag. She could have been arrested for neglect, child abandonment alone, child endangerment, and she wasn't. She orchestrated the surveillance camera that she would not be on it. She programmed Darion Vance go out there 2 or 3 times to get your ass on that camera. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't. He didn't. And I'm gonna say this before we get out of here. I don't mind. I play dumb a lot. You know, and then you can look at it like Barry White said, I'm playing your game, baby. And I'm saying this to all of you who keep calling me, calling Brittany bitches and hoes a killer. I know when I'm on a 3-way. I know when I'm on speak. And I also know this, that your family members of Brittany Bowens or your close friends. I said it 101 damn times. Whatever I said on air is all you're going to get when you call me. Just because I said okay to what you're saying, it doesn't mean I believe your ass. I keep telling you, I'm new to YouTube. I'm not new to this. I've been doing this for decades. Decades. And I tell you it's Easter, dye your eggs. If I tell you the picture of Brenda Bowens and the police chief is disrespectful and alarming. There's nothing wrong with them taking a picture together, but it's how they took it. It's not like her granddaughter's missing or is dead. It's like they're on their fucking honeymoon. And I don't like it. And even in Maleah Lance Davis' death, y'all, they keep disrespecting her. try to bluff me, call my hand and say, well, where the proof at? Where's the proof at? It's not what, it's what you can prove. Brittany Bowens directly told me that one night. Directly. You remember, don't you, Brittany? I'm sure you do. If you don't, call me, girl. We'll talk about it. If anyone in his or her right mind knows one damn thing, you don't tell everything. Especially when it's an ongoing investigation, you can damage the investigation. It's coming. It's coming, Brittany Bowens, in the twinkling of an eye. When you least expect it, your heaven will turn into hell. It's coming. You're going to go from a jail to a prison cell. Janetta Gus, you must answer as well. Craig Davis, you must answer as well. Good evening, caller. You're live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from?
Mr. Scott, this is Tasha Bridges.
Hi, Bridges.
I know you know some things that you cannot discuss, so you say yeah or nay to my question. My thing is, with the first video when she went live,
yes, ma'am.
With the news,
yes, ma'am,
and they told her that she was live, that look on her face, I took that as it was like, oh shit. I think that one, that's my first thing. My question is, and like I said, I know you're not going to reveal everything you know, and I know you know something, and I respect you, but my thing is, do you think, I think Darion Vince mentally ill in somewhat? You can figure it, or Nate, you don't have to answer that.
Yes, I already answered that weeks ago. Wait, listen. Yes, I've already answered that years ago, and the answer to it again is yes. Darion Vince is mentally challenged, and I think I said it in my opening. I think, but yes, I totally agree with that.
Okay, because that's how I felt too, and I think she set him up. She knew that he was slow, so he was gonna go along with this shit. And I just wish I am on disability, but I have come together with some friends that is going to help me, and then we're going to send you some money. I wish I could be in Houston. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I wish I could be in Houston when you go there, but I understand the reason why you're not revealing the information. I get that. I get it all, but I am going to, along with my friends, we will be sending you money.
I think
we want you to go. I know you're going to get some answers.
I gratefully,
I truly believe this.
All right. I gratefully appreciate you on that, and I also appreciate you for supporting this show. I really do. And I always ask if there's, go ahead.
Always.
Thank you. If there's
always. Yeah.
Anytime.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Everything you say. Okay. Oh my gosh. You right on the money. You right on the money, Mr. Scott. I get it. I get it. I see it. I don't know how I got turned on to you, but I don't know. But it must have been a blessing, because I'm like, when I seen that, I'm like, oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. This chick look like she's freaked out.
Yeah.
I'm alive. Mm-hmm. Why would you? That's your chill.
That's it. And I remember that day, and she did have that look like, oh shit, and stuff. And there are and there are so many inconsistencies with. Yes, ma'am.
Before I go, because I know I only have so many seconds, but why do you think I done seen different videos? Darion's on camera at this 7:48 something. I know. I ain't gonna get it right now. Mm-hmm. But why in the hell was he never on camera ever?
Well, it's simple.
Do you think the police hide that from us? I don't think they tell us everything. And I'm mad about this. I'm mad about that.
And I'm mad too. And I understand your frustration and your pain. I'm right there with you. Again, the police department, unless I see something different later on, they're failing Maleah Lynn Davis too. And that's why I speak out a lot, because I'm not going to be part of the statistics. Yeah, I'm not going to be part of the statistics that failed Maleah Lynn Davis. When I look at her on her pictures playing with her brother Peyton, that always makes me get teary-eyed, because I'm like, she's supposed to be right here playing with her brother. And I get upset when people call me and play fucking games and they're working with Brittany and them and the others. It's like, all of y'all, so nobody on both sides of that family gave a fuck about Maleah, including your friends and shit. And so they did. They did. They did.
And it was just, when you went with the house disease, maybe the week before that, something you had posted, and then when Craig sisters, I'm sorry, I correct myself.
Mm-hmm.
Cousin kept calling in. Then she went down to the what's his name, Brandon or something, Madison, his radio station that he was live on, and went down there, and she was all upset, like, oh, wow, really?
I understand.
This baby needs justice. I'm just going to, I'm on disability, I don't work, but I'm going to do everything I can to help you get down here. And I just want you to know that.
I love you.
And I thank you for being Maleah's voice.
Indeed, you are welcome. And I promise you, unless I die first, we will get justice for Maleah Lynn Davis. I promise you.
Thank you, Mrs. Scott. I love you, and I will always follow you.
I love you, and
I'll always be behind you. I'm going to do everything I can. It might not be much. We're going to get together and swim what we can, okay?
I thank you so much, but if not, just continue to support the channel by watching. I appreciate you.
All right.
Okay, y'all.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy your evening.
You have a good night.
And you too. Thank you again for calling in.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all. We're gonna go. We're gonna get out of here. I love you guys. Whatever you do, keep Maleah Davis' name alive. Write to people. Call the people. Do whatever you must. Don't let it die. Post her pictures. Talk about her. Keep it alive. If you how many times you have to call them, and I'm doing the same thing on this end. The truth must come out. It must come out. And for all of the other YouTubers that are on here watching tonight, I praise all of you for whenever you speak about Maleah Davis and the work that you do. I know you all have a genuine concern for what has happened to Maleah Davis, and we will get justice. I'm not always right, and you all are not always wrong. I love you, dear God willing. We will see you next Wednesday right here, and Miss Jade and I will be updating you on the Women's March in Houston, Texas soon. We do know that you're going to have bracelets to get in. Watch this. God wants us to watch all the children. There's a message in here. There's a message in here. And it's to pay attention. It's to pay attention. And I don't want you to look at it like, what if it was your child? That's the wrong way to look at it. If your heart is right, it has to touch you. If you're not touched by what happened to Maleah Lynn Davis, then you're just a body without a soul. This little girl was alive 1 minute and she was dead the next. And a previous head injury was not reported. Here's what Brittany, let me do this, what Brittany Bourne called her mother and said one day that Maleah again had an injury, and that her eyes were rolling back in her head. Brittany Bowen's mother, Bowen said, her eyes are rolling back in her head. Take her to the doctor. I don't think it's not one mother on here would have to call somebody and ask them, what do I do when my child eyes are rolling back in her head? She's vomiting. She won't eat. She's throwing up blood. The doctors asked her about it. Said, no, that never happened. But these are doctors. They know. They know it happened. And as well as I'm pissed off with Brenda, Bowens, Brittany, Craig, all of them, the police department, I'm also pissed off with the court system and CPS because you two were supposed to be the lifeline for Maleah Lynn Davis. But you signed her death warrant and you sent her back to be killed. I don't know how y'all can sleep at night. I just don't know how you can sleep at night. I just don't know. The rules must change with CPS, giving them you offer parenting classes to diabolical, deranged, lunatic parents. 30, 60, 90 days. Say what needs to be said. Check the right box. I'm going to say you pass, and then we'll return the kids back to you. It shouldn't be that fucking simple for you to get your child back, especially with injuries like Maleah Lynn Davis. It can't be that fucking easy. A parenting class. It don't work like that. That must be addressed. That must be changed. CPS investigators, not one, two, must go together all the time. Both must have on body cameras. Both must individually write a report about what they saw without the other individual knowing what they put in their report. We have to do this because you rely on government documents every fucking day. And you say you saw the child and you know when you went there, that child wasn't there. Now, I need to see the damn fucking video. I need to see you sitting in there. I want to see the child. I don't want to see you in there lollygagging with people or eating their fucking food or going out with them and lying and saying you went there and you didn't go there. It has to change. Where's the money going to come from? I don't give a fuck. You got to pull it out your ass. Get it and get it fucking done. We can't continue to let this happen. This is ridiculous, and it's past fucking evil that people on their fucking deathbed are calling me about what's going on with Maleah Lynn Davis. The information they give me, I said, well, you call HPD. No, we don't trust them. We trust you. That's fucking sad. It's fucking sad when Arkansas would name a bridge after Maleah Davis. And Houston, Texas, you ain't done a goddamn thing for your very own. Not a goddamn thing. Craig Davis, you and Brittany Bowens should get together and commit fucking suicide and die and make the world a better place if you can. If you need help on doing it, let me know. I'll send you a how-to manual. Both of y'all are some evil, despicable motherfuckers. And even hell is too good for, I swear to God, I hate y'all. I swear to God, I hate you. I hate y'all. I do. From the bottom, I don't never go. And I'm never going to pray and love for my fucking enemies. I just don't agree with that bullshit. I think that's fucking super stupid. All I want to do, God will spare me. I want to live to walk into the Houston courtroom when they got Brittany in there, not as a spectator, but as a defendant. And all I want to do is look and say, I got you, bitch. I'm Al Scott with Injustice Investigations. Thank y'all for tuning in. Have a good night.